Let's get into it. We're going to talk today about marketing trends for 2026. We have not too much time. I have 83 slides and we have 30 minutes time. So there's a lot of stuff to do. Without further ado, let's get into it. Last year we did already a little presentation of what to expect. This year we're going to talk about the trends that I predicted last year and what became true. And I also have a couple of new ideas for this year. So 3 things you will get from today's presentation. First thing is inspiration. Second thing is best practices you can apply directly in your business, whether if you're an agency or if you are a business owner. And the third thing is I will give you $1 million idea for free, and you can steal it if you want. So, but first, let's see if you can actually believe me, because last year I did some of these predictions, and let's see if they became true. Predictions from last year. No great content piece without a good story. Okay, means you need a good story to have a good content piece. I think that's true. I will just go over it very briefly, and something is true, something not. I'm not always right, but the hotter the takes, the more you're wrong. But I think we're all here to learn about that. Hollywood is dead. Lean productions are rising. Last year, Hollywood was on an all-time low in terms of big productions, in terms of movie productions, and this trend continued. If we look in the media landscape in the US, but also in Germany, the big productions shrunk down, and small, agile productions went on the rise. Now everyone is a content creator themselves. Everybody is a one-man army, and even people who are traditionally not in the agency landscape offer some kind of like agency work. I see Dom here in the first row. He will talk later about that with his brand, and they are kind of like a media powerhouse themselves in-house, just with an iPhone and a DJI mic. Marketing budgets won't grow in 2025. And Matthias Storath, who will also talk about this later, was with me on a call. We were chatting about it. Most budgets shrank. Most budgets were frozen. In the US, we had a pretty hard time when President Trump invented the tariffs. From April to July, we had a super hard time to close deals because everyone was kind of like uncertain what to do. Now it's coming back. August, September really has a great push, but Q2 was definitely pretty hard, and a lot of marketing budgets were frozen. So we were kind of like right with that prediction. Annual contracts win over project-based business. That was also a prediction where I say, like, hey, if you're a brand, it's nice to have an annual contract because you can actually save costs. Let's say you're at LTM, the Leipziger tourism marketing company. If they hire us for 10 production days, that's of course we can give them a way better deal than if they hire us just for 2 days. But anyway, if they only have budget for 2 days in general, then it's a hard time. My prediction was annual contracts win, but it was actually tough to close them down. And we know it's a challenging year for a lot of us. Who here is an agency owner or works in an agency? Okay. Whose revenue is up from last year? Wer hat dieses Jahr mehr Umsatz gemacht als letztes Jahr? Okay. That's good. Okay, shout out to all these guys. If you see the hands rising, ask them for their stuff. But it's definitely not as many as the past years. If we think back on 2022, 2023, like we all had like kind of like infinite money because the brands had budgets. Big budgets. Okay, let's go through it. We were talking about communities. We will also talk about communities this year, and long-form content is back. I also have an example about YouTube for this year here. AI revolution will wait another year. That was my prediction. I said like it's actually a little bit slower, but I was definitely wrong there with Gemini, with Nano Banana, with Higgsfield, all these tools. There's so much that went up this year, and I was definitely wrong. I thought it's actually a little bit slower. But that was last year, and now we want to talk about what's going on 2026. And here's a question for you, especially for the older ones. No, that's not the presentation laptop restarting. That is actually a pretty recognizable sound. Anybody know what that was? Just call it out. Huh? Windows XP. Yes, you're right. And it's an iconic sound. I think even more iconic is maybe just the Nokia ringtone or telecom ringtone. But this is definitely pretty iconic. And so is this background. This is called Bliss. It's a photo shot in the late 90s, just north of San Francisco and Napa Valley. And we all know this background. We were staring at it forever, waiting our laptops to boot, or PCs back then, to boot and to go up. And I had a thought today. So this is a photo we will never forget, right? And today in the morning I woke up, of course, I put out my phone and was a little bit of doom scrolling, just like watching some reels just to get awake, whatever. And I don't remember one single piece what I watched today, like just an hour ago. But I remember this, and this is like 20 years ago, 23 years ago. And the question is like, how do we create memorable content? Let me give you another example. This is my iPhone photo library. That's 137,255 photos. And most of them are irrelevant. I took them, I take a photo of my food, I take a photo of my train, I send it to someone, whatever. But actually, I don't care and I don't remember too much. And this is a big challenge that most of us are facing, especially if we're on the brand side, to create moments that stick with the people. Because you see so much stuff every single day, it's very important to create moments that stick with the people. And here I have a small idea for you guys that maybe you can implement. One thing is do crazy stuff like maybe a keynote in a cold plunge, but the other idea would be the comeback of analog. This is a Yashica T4. It's a 40-year-old camera that I bought on eBay for a couple $100. And if I compare it to the photos I take on my iPhone, they are like irrelevant. But these photos, it's 36 photos in here, and I'm going to do one right now. I won't forget these photos because it's just 36, and I got to wait for it to develop them. I got to fly home. I got to bring them to the lab. It's going to take a couple of days to develop, and then you get the photos. And I'm actually looking forward to it. I have something to look forward to. In a world where it's all about instant gratification, instant happiness, a little bit of wait and a little bit of anticipation is actually very, very helpful. So, comeback of analog, and here's what brands can learn from it. We shot a couple of campaigns, actually analog on this camera, on a $400 camera instead of a $20,000 setup. This is a campaign for Gold's Gym. That's the gym where Arnold Schwarzenegger became big. By the way, on the left side in this photo, that's his son. And we reshot the 60-year campaign. So pretty fun. It also works in automotive, and I can definitely highly recommend it. So memorable content will stick out. Next thing. And I must admit, I'm a little bit nerdy when it comes to YouTube. When I'm at home, I watch YouTube all day long. I don't even turn on the actual linear TV. I watch YouTube like 5 hours a day or so. It's mad. And I know a lot of like niche YouTubers, a lot of adventures or so. And this guy is Ed Pratt. He is a English guy, and he attempted to kayak the River Thames from source to sea. And usually his content is amazing. Otherwise, I wouldn't show it to you guys. But when I watch it, I always look at the numbers. And there was one thing I recognized. If I go very deep, there's this peak, right? It's just in the beginning, and it shows like how often is this replayed. And you would think this is maybe something where it's super interesting, where he, I don't know, said a crazy statement, or you see, I don't know, a famous person or so for a bit. But no, it's not. It is the ad implementation. And let me explain what's happening. Most content creators, most people do their ad, let's say with Athletic Greens AG1 or I don't know, Holy or whatever they promote, and it's pretty boring, right? You have the amazing content. This guy's kayaking, doing all this crazy stuff, and then you have the simple ad like, hey, I want to promote this bullshit product XYZ. So people skip it, right? You do the same thing on Instagram. You just swipe it on YouTube. You skip it. And then you skip. Same happens, by the way, also in podcasts. You skip. Then you went too far, skip one time back, and that's why it's most replayed. It's pretty niche, but it's a very important observation. And there's a solution to that. And I want to show that to you. Another YouTuber. This is Preston Goes, another amazing content creator. He built a go-kart for abandoned railroads. You see, it's like fun stuff. And here's what he did, and here's what I think is a state-of-the-art implementation of ads and of brand partners. Let's watch it together.
In so quickly.
No, first time. I'm pumped.
Oh, for real?
I think it's gonna be really great. Never been. That's not for me.
Yeah,
Is he pulling me over?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Should I keep filming?
Yeah, I mean, just like keep it. Oh, so sorry.
License registration.
Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
You don't want to pull me over?
I guess I was speeding. I actually don't know.
I'm actually pulling you over because
Shopify is an easy-to-use, all-in-one commerce platform.
Shopify empowers more entrepreneurs than anyone in the world. And they celebrate that in pretty big ways, to be honest. Just look at what they did with the Sphere to celebrate Black Friday, Cyber Monday. They love the Sphere. I love the Sphere.
That's it. You're under arrest.
Why?
You have the right to start a business.
What?
Anything you say can.
Okay, you get it? It's pretty funny, right? And this is how people should do it. The problem that content creators have is they just see their content on one side and the brand content on the other side. Like, oh, I have to integrate the brand, whatever. But especially for the brand content, because it's kind of like a distraction, it's a little bit off. You got to be extra careful, and you have to put even more love into that. And that goes for creators, but it also goes for agencies and basically everyone who works with a business. Be extra careful, and the statistics are right on that. There's no big bumps on like most replayed or skipped parts. It's kind of like a little bit more evened out. All right. So that was prediction number 2. Let's talk about physical activations. And as you know, I'm in the country, or at least in the city of the rich and famous. So let's talk a little bit about them. This is Hailey Bieber, and she has her own smoothie. There is a luxury supermarket in Los Angeles called Erewhon. They have complimentary valet parking, and they have this smoothie for just $18. It has 40 grams of sugar, but for 20 minutes you can feel like you're one of them. You feel like you're Hailey Bieber, and I think it's a pretty smart idea to team up with a celebrity. It's not that's not super new, but it's important to create these physical touch points. In the past 5 or 6 years, especially during COVID, everything went digital, right? Everything was online only. Everything was on social, Instagram stories, TikTok, and so on and so forth. But people really, really want the physical bag. That's why we're here together, right? That's why we're not doing just a webinar or so. That's why we come here. We have the emotions. We have the event together. And this is why we also have some specials. I think, Stefan, do we have the ice cream again this year? Of course, yeah. So we want to create moments that stick to you, and this is the good example. Another one, and this lady is Khloe Kardashian, and of course, she has her own product. It's called Cloud, and it is a protein popcorn brand. So if you want to start a business in 2026, better make sure you put a lot of protein in, then people will think it's healthy. But the question here is, like, of course, it will sell a little bit because she's famous, right? But again, you got to create these moments and that people can relate to it. And it's not about the big TV commercial production because people can't relate to it. It's so far away from them. Here's what they did. They took a car, a street food car, branded it, and then drove around the city. So for a moment, you think like, oh, this could be me. Khloe Kardashian is serving their protein popcorn to me, and I'm one of them, right? It's not like, oh, they are so far away in their $30 million villa. It's like, oh, she's just one of us. Maybe she drives down a street that you saw when you were on vacation. Maybe if you live in the area, you can even more relate to that. And I think that's smart, and that's why it's successful. Just a little blast from the past. Of course, BDX was doing stuff like that. Back then, we wanted to win about you as our client. So we put up a fake billboard with our faces on it. Our passion isn't about anything else. It's about you. And we drove through the city of Hamburg. That's the headquarters of About You. And we tried to get their attraction. And of course, we also activated digitally afterwards, but it always starts physically. So first thing is have a physical activation and then put it digital and put it in all different channels. Here's what's happened. I put it up on LinkedIn. We got huge traction, and it didn't cost us that much money, especially our CFO. Tina was very happy about it. If you sum it up, it was just like $5,000 or so, 5,000 euros. But the marketing and the media value was way over $50,000, and we won the client. So it worked out. Yeah. All right. So the prediction is nice. Thanks. So the prediction is 99% of the campaigns that go viral are based on an actual physical experience. What's the easiest way to create a physical experience? We talked about this last year, and it was also a prediction: communities. And there are a lot of communities out there, and who follows me or who knows me knows I am a big, passionate runner. So here's some stats on that. The growth of run clubs worldwide in the past 14 or 15 years, it rose from just about 100 or so to over 2,000. That's insane. If you are a brand, you could either start your own community, or you can just tap into another community. So why don't team up with a local run club, with a local community? It doesn't have to be running. It can be also, I don't know, a yoga group, a Pilates group, or anything where you are passionate about. Team up with them and create moments that stick. Prediction number 4, of course, we know it. We had it last year already, but it's on and it's more relevant than ever. Communities are underpriced value. How are we feeling so far? Very good? Okay, nice. Let's continue. I have a lot of more stuff, and I'm super excited. Now I have a question for you. Who of you guys works at a business or like who is not agency? Something like that. Okay, nice, amazing. That's great. So you guys are either a corporate, you're a brand, you have a product or something like that. And here's a little tool that you guys can use to make your marketing more efficient. I call it the risk leverage scale. If we see it here on the left side, low risk, low reward. On the other side, high risk, high reward, or high leverage, right? What does it mean? Let's go through a couple of examples. Mäuse in ein Schwein stecken. Wie krank ist das denn? This is the company Scalable Capital, and they advertised their ETF. This is, of course, high risk, high reward, very bold, but of course, you guys take out your phones right now, you take a photo of it, and it goes viral because they are bold. But of course, also the probability that there's a backlash so is higher. So if you are a more traditional brand, you could definitely not pull up something like this. Wohin mit der Asche von Opa? Where shall we put the ashes, the money of grandpa? Of course, let's put it in an ETF, let's put it in a stock market. And you can do this if you are a bold company. If you're a more traditional company, it's probably a little bit tougher. Sparkasse, right? German's most traditional bank. I'm not saying that's bad. I think it's all right, but it's definitely on the lower end of this leverage risk scale. And so here's a task for you guys and a takeaway. Position yourself somewhere in between. Where would you think is your brand best positioned? How much risk do you want to take? If you take more risk, of course, you have the probability to go more viral or to have higher leverage. But on the other side, also the probability of maybe a shitstorm or something else is higher. Anyway, let's talk about another project, and this is an actress. Does anybody know who that is? This is America's Sweetheart. It is Sydney Sweeney, known from basically every Netflix show that's on there right now, from White Lotus, Euphoria, you name it. And she is the hottest shit right now in terms of actress. She's in every single movie, and she knows how to capitalize on it because she gets a lot of brand deals. And there was a huge thing. It was pretty controversial on both sides. The left said it's shit. The right said it's amazing. But everybody had an opinion on that. And probably a couple of you guys have seen this campaign before, but we wanted to talk a little bit about what was it actually worth, and was it good or bad for the company? So let's watch it real quick.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
So this was the campaign, right? And it's referring, of course, to the pun, zum Wortspiel. Sie hat tolle Gene, aber auch eine tolle Jeans. Ne? So, and people freaked out about it. It was all over the news, and people were like, "Oh, what's going on? You're not allowed to say that. You shouldn't do this. Blah blah blah." Right? But everybody had an opinion on that. Of course, this was calculated risk, right? American Eagle was more on the bold side and said, "Okay, we think the uplift is higher than the downside of just sitting out a couple of bad comments or a couple of people who think like, oh, you shouldn't do that." And I believe if you are more bold, you have a lot of more leverage. The question here is, how do you measure success? Of course, in reach and maybe also in the money you made. So let's look at the stock market. It's a public traded company, and the campaign came out early July. I think July 4th or so, July 5th, something like that. The stock price went up by 65% just through that campaign. They probably paid her like $5 million or so for that campaign. But again, the reach was insane. So my advice or my recommendation is here, be a little bit more bold, try something out, and be talk of the town. If you can take the critics. There will be always people who don't like it, but I believe the leverage here is way higher than the downside. And another prediction is, and this is actually a hot take, I think brands won't get cancelled in 2026. This time is over. It was a huge thing, canceling all the bullshit here and there, but I believe brands won't get cancelled forever. We see it also in celebrities. They get cancelled maybe for a couple months, but then like Finn Kliman is a good example. He was gone for a couple of years and now he's back. Same also goes with brands. I think if you don't are like super stupid and do something, I don't know, racism or whatever, then you're cancelled for a good reason. But if you're just bold and have like fun, bold ideas, and there's no reason to do it, and people are not stupid anymore. All right, last thing for you guys, And here's actually the $1 million idea that you can steal for free. Maybe it's actually something for Leipzig tourism. But first we have to do a little mind game, and we have to go into the mental state. So imagine you have a product, but your product is the same to your competition. The price is the same to the competition, and also the destination you fly to is the same to your competition. How do you separate yourself from the competition, from the others? Welcome to the major airlines in the United States. On the left, there's American Airlines, there's Delta, and there's United. They all have more or less the same product. They all have the same planes. Some are just a little bit newer, some are a little bit older. They all have kind of like the same leg room. They all have the same seats. They all have the same snacks, more or less. Let's say the route Los Angeles to New York, they fly 60 times a day, right? There's a lot of flights, and they are more or less all the same. First one, Delta, $250, United, $250, American Airlines, same. And they depart more or less the same. How do you separate yourself? And probably a lot of you guys can relate to that if you think like, oh, I have the same product as my competitor. There's one thing you can do. And let me tell you a quick story. I was in San Francisco just 2 weeks ago. And I was doom scrolling again, you know me, right, when I woke up. But there was one video that I didn't forget. And there was someone talking about trading cards. Like actual physical loyalty trading cards, a little bit similar like Pokemon cards. And they said pilots of Delta have them in their suitcase. So I was waiting at the airport, and I saw a pilot getting a coffee, right? So I went to him, I took all the courage I have and said like, excuse me, sir, I heard you guys have these trading cards, right? And then we had a nice chat and was like, yeah, of course I have the trading cards. And he's like, yeah, where are you coming from? Where are you flying to? What's your favorite layover destination? What's the shittiest hotel you've ever been at? Like, we were just like casually talking. And I was like a big fan, right? You know me, I love aviation in general, but also this, like, how often do you actually talk to the pilot? Of course, you talk to the cabin crew and they're nice, but the pilot, like, he's the king of the plane. He flies the whole thing, right? He flies a $300 million machine. And just casually chatting with that person, and he was telling me about like, oh, his favorite layover location is Denver, Colorado. You are on the Rocky Mountains. It's amazing, and so, and like you see it. Like I'm very emotional with that, and I'm telling you this story. And basically every person I saw within the last 2 months, I was telling that story. And here's the thing. Usually I'm loyal to Lufthansa, right? Because it's our German airline. I'm a little bit proud of that. It's a nice product, and they also have a pretty good frequent flyer program that tries to stick me. But after that conversation, something changed. This is my collection of trading cards right now, and now I'm flying even more Delta, right? And it's pretty easy, right? It's for them. It's a huge company, right? So how much would that cost to roll out these trading cards? Let's say maybe a couple $100,000. And in comparison, I think they make $200 million revenue per day. It's nothing, right? It's compared. Let's say if we do it with TRENDCON or BDX, it's maybe an invest of $3,000 or so, right? It's not that much, but it sticks so much and people love it. People post about it, people talk about it. I even held a keynote just about this topic, right? So free advertisement to Delta. Shout out here, please sponsor me. What's in for you? Create emotional moments. Create moments that stick, and maybe you can also put up a small program or a loyalty program yourself. I know Mert, he's in the dental business. He builds toothbrushes. How about every year there's a new card for, I don't know, that your teeth are clean. Maybe if you own a restaurant, there's also a thing like for every location you go to. maybe if you're at Leipzig Tourism, maybe you do a little Schnitzeljagd, where it's like, oh, these are the 10 locations you have to go. You have to go to Dankbar, you have to go to Donna, you have to go to Felix, you have to go to Simply Office, and everywhere you get a stamp or maybe your small trading card. They're not that expensive. You can just order them on Flyer Alarm. And the idea is actually not too new, and some brands recognized this even like 20 years ago. Check this out. It's my local Dönermann and the nail studio of my wife. So, or I think it's actually from Kati, right? The nail studio. So this is also it's these small moments that stick, and I think emotion creates a lot of loyalty. So let's sum it up and wrap it up for the next speakers. But I have a little summary for you guys. By the way, this is a moment where you can take out your phones and then you can tell your boss you learned something today. Memorable content sticks out to mass content. Branded content needs more love, right? If you put in an advertisement, if you put in a product that you advertise for, you have to be even more careful with the content you create. Then, third thing, start physical with a physical activation and activate it digitally. Communities are still underpriced value, even in 2025. And I know also our friends at MPN are there. They pull up a golf tournament. So it's already there, and some people do it. So you could do the same. More risk, more reward. How surprising. And emotion creates loyalty. So check out this trading cards example. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening. And if you like what you heard, let's become LinkedIn friends. Just scan this QR code. Let's have a great TRENDCON 2025. And thank you so much again.